I wanted to give you some instructions on how to do this day 3 assignment, the protein synthesis digital escape room. So you got basically 2 days to do these 5 tasks and to fill out all the information on here. So the first thing you'll probably want to look at is the answer sheet. So you'll find this on Google Classroom, and it's an answer sheet, and I would print this off if you have that available. If you don't, can't print anything off, you'll need some scrap paper for sure. You'll probably want that anyway, uh, but you'll definitely need to look at that because or have this available. So it's not too bad for task 1 or um, 2 per se. 3, you'll need to know where these shaded in blocks are. The rest of them, you could probably get away with not having this task. It'll just make it easier if you have it available. All right, the next thing you're going to want to open up is the Google Slides presentation, because this is where all the tasks will be found on this. So we'll go through this escape room. So basically, you're working for the CDC. They've been in the news lately. You've been practicing social distancing for the last 4 weeks. Your boss told you that it may be possible to find treatment for COVID-19, and you must create a protein that'll break down the envelope surrounding the virus. So your challenge is you'll have to complete the 5 tasks in order to find the cure and reunite with your friends. So, as I said, the task sheet, again, that's this sheet here. That's what you're going to look at. Download it or print it. You'll have your own copy and you may be able to type on it. It'll just be easier if you have a paper copy. So after you complete each task, make sure you answer the appropriate question. So I'm going to have a file in Edulastic that will, after you complete the task, you can put it in Edulastic to see if you're right. If you're not right, you can take this Edulastic assignment again. You'll just need to notify me to restart it for you. But I'll be glad to do that. You can take the Edulastic as many times you want. You just need to let me know. So you'll have your old answers, and then you can fix it till you get all the right answers. Once you have all the right answers, you will then go to the Google Forms, which is, sorry, you don't need that. It's right here. So you'll just come down and go to task 1, and you'll put the numbers there and the information there, the code word, and answer those as so on. So I'll go through these individual tasks so you know what's going on. All right, so task 1. In this case, you're just doing a Venn diagram. Here are all of the things that you need to put into the Venn diagram. So you might want to draw that out and start labeling it. If you go to like the Edulastic, the first question will be DNA, and you're just going to be drag and dropping them into the categories. And then you need to count the numbers because that's the actual code you're going to plug in here is how many of those categories fit DNA, how many was both, and how many of those descriptions fit RNA. So that's task 1. All right, task 2. This one, your goal is to create a code word. So read each statement on the next slide. Decide if each statement describes transcription or translation. Put statements for each process in order onto the mat on slide 8. And then starting with it, answer that. So here is your thing. You just look at this and say, okay, is this transcription or translation? So you'll read that. Remember your notes. And if this is translation, you will, or transcription, whichever one it is, you're putting it into one of these boxes, whichever one it be. Right, then you read the second one, which is this one here, because you go left to right, top to bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Answer those in the correct order, put them in the correct box, and the shaded letters here will go into, into your code word, which will be right there. So it'll be 5 letters and your code word. And your code word, I'll give you a hint, should relate to genetics in some way. So it shouldn't be that hard to figure it out. All right. Task 3. So you're going to sort through these tweets listed here. They're not in order. And then but you're going to put them in order, beginning to the end of protein synthesis. So each card has a code word that needs to be entered in order on the answer sheet. So here's our answer sheet. So you go here and you say, okay, number 1, and you put it whatever order that is. And you will then say that's the second one. You would write genes. That was the bolded word that would go here. I will tell you that some of these boxes don't have enough letters or they got too many. Just put in as much as you can, and that's the letter that's going to be involved. All right? So you're going to do that for all 6. You'll have those, and then you'll have your code word there. Task 4 is synthesis. This is basically a multiple choice question thing. So you're going to be given this diagram and you just go through here and answer the questions. So they're going to be whatever letter you say is number 2. So number 2 is right here. What is number 2? And then that's your letter. Then you go to next question, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. So you got all those questions, number 8. So they're all multiple choice. You would write those down, whatever the letter is, and then if the correct answers from number 3 to number 8 are going to be a code word. So that's going to be your code word to get through task 4. All right, finally, task 5, decoding the DNA. This is probably going to be the hardest of them. So you're going to be given a DNA strand. There it is. You are going to want to create the messenger RNA code. And I am just going to delete tRNA because this is my file and that will just confuse you anyway, and it's not important. Keep in mind, it says you need to start with the start codon. So that is a TAC. So we go along here and find TAC. That's right there, TAC. That's going to be your start. So just ignore all the rest of that and start at that TAC. Put your A, because T makes A. And then you just go along there and creating that. Once you're done with that, you're going to have to code out your messenger RNA. So remember, AUG is always going to be methionine. That's always your start. So A is here, U is up here. So when we file, we're going to be in this box here. Then we go to G, come back over here, and we find methionine. So methionine should be your first amino acid in this, in any. When you're done with that, you can write that down, but the reality is the word that you need to get through your breakout room is to take the codes that you found up here and go down here, and you're going to spell out a word. So you're going to have the secret word, and that is going to be the final code for this 5. All right, so that's the amino acids that you need to write down for task 5. The code word gets written here. All right, so then you go back to the protein synthesis breakout room. So in this one, you're putting in a set of numbers. So it'll be a number here, number there, number of descriptors that are there. And actually, you're going to put those numbers right here. So under the short text. So you're going to have place the code in above, in spaces below, order to move. You're going to have 3 numbers for that one. All right, so this one you got a 5-letter word that you figured out. That is what you're going to put down here. Make sure it's all capitalized. And then the tweets, there they are. I don't think you can put anything there. You just got to come down here, and again, in all caps, you're going to write out the word lock. So those letters are the ones that were shaded in. That's why I say you should print off that form. The protein synthesis, again, the answers, the multiple choice answers, that's going to form a word if you go from number 3 to number 8, and that's what you're typing in right here. Again, make sure you're in all caps. And last, you're going to have your secret codon chart here, and you're going to write in all caps, no spaces, the word lock for there. And then when you're done, basically, it shouldn't let you go on to the next section unless you've answered it. So again, like I said on Edulastic, as you go through these, they will, you can move them in here and it'll help to see whether you got your answers right. So once you've filled out your copy here, I would then go to Edulastic, see if you're correct on all of your answers, including the multiple choice. If you're not, and you clearly can't figure out what you got right or wrong, you might want to ask me to restart your Elastic quiz. Again, this is just a check. I am not grading whether you did this or not. It's just to see that you got it right or not. So it's just to help you. So I'm not going to grade that. What I'm going to grade is going to be this digital breakout room and that you got through. All right, so you got 2 days. Normally I would give you 2 classroom days to work on this. It probably will take you an hour once you get started, but it shouldn't be that difficult. All right, that ends this. If you got any questions, make sure you email me. And if you need the Edulastic reset, make sure you email me. And that answers the digital breakout. At least you get you started. Any help, again, let me know.